Hi everyone, so today I'll be going over my empties for the month of May. Like always, I'll have these separated into categories in case you're only interested in certain items. To start off with skincare, we have my sheet mask for the month. So I've been trying to go out of my comfort zone and buy something other than Tony Moly, hence why I started some sheet masks. Normally I go in order of which ones expire first. So the first one we have is APLB. My sister found this for me, I believe either at TJ Maxx or Marshalls, and I really enjoyed it. So it was a pack of 10 for $7.99, which is even better than the pack of 10 that I normally get from Tony Moly. So this one, I really like how soft the sheet mask is. It doesn't feel itchy on my skin and it stays in place. It's lightweight enough that it sticks to my face, but I feel like I can still kind of like be on my phone, go on the computer, like walk around my house without it just slipping from its position. So I definitely would repurchase this again, and I'm excited to try out the other ones. As far as what it did, it mainly just felt like it moisturized my skin. It felt more of like what a cream does for you than brightening, whitening, like acne care, anti-aging. No, it just felt like really good hydration. The next sheet mask, I found it in a pack of 10. I believe it was discounted from $12.99 to $10.99. And I did want to try one to see if I liked it or not. And I think my verdict was that it was just okay. This one does have fragrance. So the first one that I showed you did not. I don't mind fragrance in my sheet mask, but I think if I were to like have a preference, I'd probably go unscented. So from the brand Innisfree, I haven't seen this brand too much or too frequently at TJ Maxx and Marshalls. But yeah, I feel like this was just more for the luxurious like self-care experience than it really did anything. But I mean, it kept my face hydrated. However, this one felt a little bit more weighty on my face than the other one. So I feel like this one had a tendency to like slip off, especially in my chin area, because the sheet masks are a little bit on the larger side. So I always have to like fold it over, and that's always the first place to go. It looks like I have a beard a little bit. So I would be open to trying different types from Innisfree, but I think I would prefer the APLB ones. And then we have the ones that I got on Wishtrend. Unfortunately, I have a feeling if this whole tariff, non-tariff thing's gonna happen, I won't be able to find these. I've been on the lookout at TJ Maxx and Marshalls, but basically I really like these sheet masks. The only thing is that I sometimes try to get a little bit of the essence out in order to put it in my reusable cotton round to then swipe my face. And I noticed that I could do that with all the other sheet masks except for these rice sheet masks, because I feel like it gets stuck and then I have to pry the sheet mask from it. But if I just use it as is, really like it. There's not a lot of excess serum, and I feel like this does give me a little brightening effect, but it could just be, me thinking that I look a little bit brighter because I know this is what it's supposed to do. But yeah, I really enjoy this one. But I think that this is on the more expensive side, and I don't know if it's hit retail stores like Ulta, Sephora, or whatnot. Oh, then we have a mugwort sheet mask, again from the brand I'm from. This is good if you have redness in your skin and stuff, and I use these typically when face feels a little bit irritated or it's a little bit flushed. And I really like that there's nothing in it that would irritate or cause my face to sting. So I would repurchase this one as well. And then of course we had to get one of the Tony Molys. I forgot if I tried this. So I opened another one because this one expires later than the other ones that I have. And I think it's just okay, but I don't think I would go out of my way to purchase this specific one. I think I just look for whichever one's on sale. Sticking to the skincare items, we have one that my sister gave to me. I believe this was limited edition because of the golden cap. So this is a Paula's Choice 2% BHA liquid exfoliant. Okay, so the problem with this one, it hasn't expired, and I think I've only opened it for about 8 months, which I think you can have this open for a full year before it goes bad. From the get-go, it smelled odd, and then I had my sister smell it because she's had Paula's Choice products before, specifically this one, and I've had it before, and I've never had this like weird smell to it, and it seems like it went off, but maybe it was a transit issue or something. So I've been using it on my face for a while, and I just felt like, I don't know, I feel like once you get something stuck in your mind or your brain, I'm like, I don't think this is like fully not expired. So then I thought, okay, let me just use it as a kind of like shower oil or like a body wash in the shower. So that's how I ended up finishing up. But besides the fact that it smelled kind of weird, I really like how this feels on my skin. It doesn't irritate it too much like some AHAs. So for BHAs, I believe the molecule is a little bit larger, so it doesn't sting my face or anything. I think I would repurchase this one if my sister places an order for Paula's Choice. I think it's also sold in Sephora, and now she's been recently finding it at TJX stores. So I think I would repurchase it if it was on sale. But if not, I think cheaper stuff do the same effect. So there's that one right there. And then the other one is the one that my sister and I used in the shower. I believe we got this on sale at Walmart for $3 or $2. This is what I used to use when I was in middle school, acne free. So this one, it has 2.5% benzoyl peroxide acne treatment. So how my sister and I were using it in the shower, well, I think how we were both using it was basically in our chest area, underarms, and I believe feet, because I hear that if you have like sweating problems, or if you want to like cut back on using deodorant and stuff, that's a good way to go about it if you use benzoyl peroxide underneath your armpits, basically anywhere that you have a tendency to sweat and stuff. Did I notice a difference? Probably not, but I felt like I was doing something for myself, you know. The only problem is that this consistency was really runny, so I think once I would put the cleanser on my skin, it would immediately drip, which I think was just amplified by the shower. So what I would do is I would basically like put a little pump in my hand, and I would kind of form a small lather. This one didn't really lather, and then try to put that underneath my arms for a little bit. So yeah, I wouldn't repurchase this, but it was pretty cheap. So if I saw it again, I'd probably pick it up. But as far as like, did it do anything? I don't think it did. Okay, next we have my everyday, so for morning and at night, skin cleanser. This is the one that my sister found for me, I believe, at Marshall's. And this was during the yellow tag sale. And I think, no. Sorry, I lied. Reverse that. She found it for $3.99 at Marshall's or TJ Maxx, probably Marshall's. And I think it was mismarked, because sometimes I even find some candles that I think they're original or retail price that they're referencing is just not correct. So I think this one should have been marked for $5.99 or $6.99. And basically she took it, I paid for it and whatnot. So I really like how this was a gel cleanser. I feel like it was really basic, and I think for me, as far as cleansers go, I don't mind if it's more stripping or less stripping. But if I had to choose between a gel cleanser and a creamy cleanser, I'd rather go with a gel cleanser, because you just use a little bit in the palm of your hand and then you kind of create your own lather. So yeah, I would have purchased this one, but I don't think it really did anything, but it didn't strip my skin in the first step, meaning that I don't have to add more toner, essence, or hydration. So there's that. I would recommend it, but it's pretty basic. Next product, we have some cotton rounds from the brand Innisfree. I believe I got this either at Style, Vana, or Jolse. So this one, I didn't really like it because it was almost too soft, and I feel like for my cotton rounds, I like something a little bit more gritty. And this one had almost like 2 layers. So if you picture a book, and in the spine, you can like rip them. And so from one cotton round, you can get 2. Yeah, so this was more suited for, I guess, people who wanted to do a DIY sheet mask, because I personally don't like having my cotton rounds that thin and soft. So when I went to Costco, I saw that they have cotton rounds there. So I think going forward, I won't purchase any from K-Beauty, J-Beauty, or Asian Beauty websites, because those have a tendency to be a little bit thinner. And since I'm already buying all these sheet masks, I just don't see a need for it. So there's that one, but it did feel really soft, especially good if you have sensitive skin. All right, so that is it for skincare products specifically. Let me go on to body care. So I have 3 Lush products that I finished that I don't have in my possession, because I did return the pots in order to get some money off of my purchase. So I wrote little notes so I won't forget. So the first one, we have Lush Snow Fairy Body Conditioner. Oh, and I wrote notes too. So this one, it was actually, I think, from like 2 years ago or so. It didn't go bad and didn't grow mold or anything. And I feel like I like the body conditioners more than I do the lotions. I wish it would return. I think I'll also include a picture of how it looked like to the left or to the right of the screen, because I did take it, and that one I was able to use it for the bring back program. So for the body conditioners, if you're not familiar, essentially you use that like an in-shower body oil or like body conditioner. And I feel like I do like it. However, I don't feel like it moisturizes the skin enough in order to skip your lotion step or your cream step or heck your body oil step. But I feel like it just adds a little bit more scent. And I feel like if you come out of the shower feeling very like your skin is tight and stuff, I think that does help minimize that effect. The next product that I finished up from Lush was the Squeak shampoo. I also use it as a scalp scrub. It's 9.8 ounces. I just wrote yes because I first tried it during the summer freshness sale, and had I known, I would have just emptied out their inventory because it works really well with my sister's hair and it works really well with my hair. I have frizzy, kind of like wavy to straight hair. It does get oilier at the top and it's frizzy drier at the bottom. I don't use any products and I don't style my hair besides just like the normal brushing, combing. And my sister's hair, she has, oh gosh, she told me one time, thin, curly, porous hair, and it does get oily at the top. So it works really well for the both of us. I feel like it's good if you haven't washed, or if your hair feels very greasy, it's good at getting that out. And there's little exfoliating bits. It has like little salt chunks, and it also has little like jelly parts as well, but not like the Lush shower jelly. So not like that. Just think another jelly that's better. So yeah, definitely would have purchased that one. And all the pots that I redeemed were actually in order to get the Lush Squeak shampoo. So there's that. Okay, final Lush item that I finished was the Lush Intergalactic Body Scrub. It did smell minty and I just do not like it. I don't recommend it. It feels very pasty and I feel like it's one of those scrubs where you really have to work into a lather, but it didn't, I don't know, I feel like it wasn't gritty enough. It kind of reminded me of like rubbing somewhat dry toothpaste all over your body. It just wasn't it. So while I feel like a minty scent would be really nice in the shower, I just didn't like the experience. I did get it for 50% off, but I wouldn't recommend it. And I'm glad that it's done and over with. My sister also didn't like it. So that is it for the Lush products that are no longer here. One Lush product that is here, because this is a recent empty, is the orange body scrub. This one legit smells like a juicy orange, almost like orange essential oil. The only thing is that this is a little bit too runny for my liking. Think of like a very watery and more fine gritty tree hut scrub. Yeah, and it's more expensive. So no, I don't recommend it. I don't like it, but I do really love the smell. It doesn't linger on my skin for too long, but I feel like since it has, I think, a lot of oils in it, it leaves my skin feeling really hydrated. So I feel like sometimes when I would use like a body wash that was too stripping, I would go in with this one and I feel like it would bring me back to normal. So this one, I don't think I would I recommend it under certain circumstances, but I don't think I would repurchase it. But I do like it that I got this pot for less, I guess. So there's that. Gonna save that and return it for the bring back program. Shower steamers. We have one that my sister finished up. So she got it for $3. And going forward, I'm only going to buy these shower steamers if I find them for like $3, $4, because for the retail price of $6.99, even $5.50, I think that isn't really a good deal, because I found that I enjoy this a lot more if I use two. So this bag has 7. So I'm in like 2.5 showers, I'm done with it. And then I finished one up. I think we both found it for $3, but I just ripped off that price. The cherry is slightly medicinal leaning cherry, but I just like cherry scents in general. So this one, I would recommend it if you want to try it out for $3, but I would steer away from purchasing this at full price. And also, it's a bit weak. The good thing about it is that this one lasts a very long time, so I can't use it with the soap savers or the shower steamer saver. I put it directly on the floor. Next, going on to a product that I think my mom gave me. So my mom does get like, I think $90 to use every quarter, and sometimes she's like, I only need $20 worth of stuff, and that's where my sister and I were like, oh, add some like cotton swabs or add some cotton rounds. And then we wanted to try these ready to flush cleansing cloths. These dry up very quickly, and I think it's because this little flat part right here lifts up, so it would never stay down, or I don't know. But basically by the end of a month or something, they were bone dry. So then I just used them as toilet paper because, let's not waste items. But I wouldn't recommend this. However, we did purchase another one, unfortunately, and those cleansing cloths are a little bit dry already and they're brand new. So I wouldn't recommend that. I don't even know if you can purchase that like at stores. Going on to a small business, we have a body spray from Sugar Mood Bath and Body. This is Snow Princess. So had I known that this was a dupe for Snow Fairy, maybe I feel like the name should have given it away. But essentially, it's just like Snow Fairy from Lush, but it doesn't last as long as the OG. And I feel like even though it smells, I would say like 95% similar, I can get Snow Fairy half off during the Boxing Day sale. So yeah, there's no need for this. I did like other scents from Sugar Mood Bath and Body, but I feel like the longevity isn't great. So I just used it after the shower. I spray it on my PJs, and by the time that I wake up, I pretty much can't smell it anymore. So yeah, so I wouldn't repurchase this one, but I'm glad that I used it up because I think that was opened already for about 6 months or no, 6 months or something. All right, next category, let's go on to home fragrance, wax smell specifically. I have these tea light candles. Technically, they should be in the candle category, but I use them to melt my wax. So there's that. The only difference from last month is that I think I got some at Walmart. Yeah, it's the one with the ridges, and I don't really like them because they have a lot of leftover wax shavings at the top, and yeah, I just don't really like them. So I think I prefer the ones that I got at Target and Amazon, but they pretty much all do the same job. First wax piece that I used up, well, technically my sister mainly finished this up. She still has a little bit going in her room, but now that she has her candle crock, she doesn't really turn on her wax warmer. Anyways, this is from a small business called Turtle Creek Candle Shop, and I believe this was the free sample that was included in my reshipment because I had a broken candle. The candle didn't really perform that well, and I haven't burned the second one. But anyways, this one did smell like cucumber, but I detected no mint. However, it was pretty strong. I would say it would be medium strong in her, I would say, small to medium size office space. And it did go for about, I would say, if she were to have this on 24/7, I think this would last 2 days. However, I don't know if that's for all the wax and stuff because in the candle that arrived broken, it was in the scent pink sugar. And I used that in my tea light warmer, so a different warmer. And I feel like it didn't last as long as it did in her light bulb warmer. But I don't know if I would repurchase this particular scent because I like cucumber, but it has to be mixed with like a watermelon or another honeydew cantaloupe type of scent for me to like really enjoy it. So there's this one. I wouldn't go out of my way to repurchase. Going on to vendor wax, we have a few from that Smell Good shop. So we have vanilla ice cream. The fragrance notes are frozen sweet cream and vanilla bean. Sound good, right? Oh, and these are her 2-packs. So I believe this one is $1.45. And how many ounces is it? 0.8. I don't know what it is about her vanilla ice cream scents or even the one that I did or that I finished the one that I decluttered. It was like peach ice cream. It smelled like urine or like it just smelled bad. This one also smelled bad. I had it going in my Scentsy wax warmer and I thought, oh heck no, I'm not dealing with this. So I took it out immediately because I just did not like the scent. And even scents that have vanilla ice cream listed in the notes, I don't enjoy them. So that's where this one comes in. This one, I did finish melting the wax. Sweet pear, birthday cake, and ice cream. So this one I thought, ooh, I like pear fragrances, and it does smell like a very juicy pear, but then when you go to warm it, you get that vanilla ice cream, like off note about it. Sadly, I thought that the birthday cake would kind of mask the ice cream note, but it did not. So I wouldn't recommend vanilla ice cream or fried pear cake, but because it has the vanilla ice cream fragrance oil in it. So then I also decided to warm a customer blend that I got. We have Boardwalk Marshmallow Clouds, Vanilla Birch, Vanilla Bean Noel, and Let Them Eat Cake. This one's pretty good. I feel like towards the end of warming it, this one lasted comfortably a day. On the second day, I mainly just got the Vanilla Birch because that was a pretty strong fragrance. Yeah, right now I basically just smell Vanilla Birch. I think the main note that I got initially was the Boardwalk Marshmallow Clouds, but I think that the Boardwalk Marshmallow Clouds fragrance oil from that Smell Good shop, I could like take it or leave it. It's not my favorite. I haven't found a good Boardwalk Marshmallow Clouds dupe or a vendor that does that. specifically like for my preferences, but I think it could just be that I'm a bit picky with that particular fragrance oil. So I wouldn't repurchase any of the ones from that Smell Good shop just because the scents weren't really my thing. And I specifically chose them because on cold, I had a feeling that they wouldn't be my favorite, and I guess I was correct. Next, going on to another small wax indie vendor, we have one from Athame and Alchemy. This is her Surf Taco Volume 1. So right now her shop is currently closed because she's moving from Florida, where she was originally based from, and going to North Carolina. So I believe that her website should reopen for her fall offerings. When her website's open, she has something called the Cabinet of Curiosities, where she kind of like tests fragrance oil, or if there's any like leftover ones from past seasons, she puts them for sale for a discount. This one, Surf Taco, I don't know how different it is from the one that she offers during the spring, summer, but I really enjoy it. It reminds me of cold masa specifically. So I don't know the fragrance notes, but I know for sure it's supposed to mimic eating a taco by the ocean or by the waves and stuff. Another thing to note is that she's very eco-conscious, so she does not use poly bags. She doesn't use plastic clamshells or anything. So these are, I believe they might be wax papers. I don't know how long it lasts long term, but I really like that she, tries to make a difference. And this originally comes taped. So to me, I do pick up on that saltiness from the ocean air, the ocean breeze that you would get when you're by the beach. And I do get that cold core tortilla that hasn't been heated up. So it doesn't smell like a taco with meat already. It just seems like you're getting ready to make the fresh tortillas. And surprisingly, if you've ever tried Cleaning Fairy from L3 Waxy Wonders, I feel like this smells very similar. I think there's another vendor that has like a corn husk scent note. I think this would also replicate it as well. So this scent I would repurchase, and I already did. So I got the tester one when she was still, I guess, formulating it, and the one that was finalized. Obviously, this one was less expensive because it's smaller and whatnot. So once I finish that one, I think this would be a scent that I would repurchase. So if you want very unique scents, definitely go for Athame and Alchemy. Just a tidbit, I feel like I get the best performance out of my wax if I use tea light warmers or very hot plates, like my Julienne hot plate wax warmer. I almost forgot, but we have another wax melt from that Smell Good shop. This is called her Mystery Melts in the scent Foodie. So in her shop, you're able to get mystery melts depending on if they're available. I think you can get them in a 4-piece, which is this one, a 6-piece, and maybe a 12-piece. So this one, you just get like broad categories. So we have foodie, I think earthy, and maybe fresh. So like the name suggests, the mystery melts are a mystery. So unfortunately, if you like one of the fragrances, even the owner can't tell you what it is, because I think this might be one of those situations where like over pours go into it, or like she mixes 2 fragrance oils that are like close to being done. This one, I find that I didn't get the best performance out of it. I think if I remember, I used this in my Julienne hot plate warmer. I tried 1 piece, 2 pieces, and then I tried it in my Scentsy wax warmer. And overall, I didn't really get good performance out of this one. I would say it was more on the light. Yeah, I would say it was light in my medium-sized bedroom, even if I used 2 pieces. So there's that one. I wouldn't repurchase the Mystery Melts in Foodie. Going on to retail wax, we have some from Goose Creek. So let's go on to Pink Bellini. I did write the fragrance notes because Goose Creek does not put fragrance notes on their wax. We have Pink Peach, Apricot, Apple, Sugar, Cane, Blushed Wine. So this one, I believe I got it on sale for, I believe, $1.50 at Walmart. I haven't made a purchase at Goose Creek ever. I have gotten a candle from my friend Lizzie in friend mail in lemon butter cake. That was really nice. But for some reason, the wax that I got, both of these scents, they weren't the strongest. So for Pink Bellini, I think the note that I get the most is probably the apple mixed in with the blushed wine. So on the inside, I wrote notes to myself, but I used this in my Julienne warmer and my tea light warmer combined. And I felt like I had to use several warmers in order to get the strength or the intensity that I wanted. So I wouldn't recommend this. Maybe if you get the candle and you put it under a hotter candle lamp, I think that might be better than buying the wax melt. Also, I think it's a better cost if you buy the candle on sale and use it like that instead of buying the wax. Next one is Dragon Fruit Splash. So this one I thought it was going to be similar to Bath and Body Works' what, iced dragon fruit tea, but no, it's completely different. Scent notes are dragon fruit, mango, peach, pineapple, guava, island splash. So this one, same thing. I used it in my julienne hot plate warmer and tea lights, and I felt like I needed, well, actually, this one was a bit stronger than Pink Bellini, so I think I might repurchase this one if it goes on sale again at Walmart. I haven't seen it recently. I think I like the scent of this one more than I do Pink Bellini. So I do get the tropicalness from the, is that a word? Tropicalness? I do get the tropical aspect from the dragon fruit and the mango. However, I feel like the pineapple in here makes this lean a little bit musky. I feel like sometimes some pineapple scents can be a little bit too tart, but then sometimes they lean a little bit, I don't know, I guess musky. So yeah, I don't know if I would repurchase it for $1. Heck, I would. But for the retail price that they sell it at Walmart, which I think is like $3-4, I'd probably skip on it. So there is a dragon fruit splash. Next, we have a wax melt from Swan Creek Candle Co. This is an herbal melt in the scent lemon icebox cookies. Fragrance description that I wrote down in my dyno label: experience the sweet and tangy aroma of lemon icebox cookies. So it doesn't really give much information now, does it? So I've never had a lemon icebox cookie before in my life, but if they taste any way how this smells, I don't think I'd like them because I almost am getting this orange note instead of like a Meyer lemon or like a yellow lemon or lime. Yeah, there's something about this that I don't like. It doesn't remind me of sugar cookie or snickerdoodle or like a Madeline. Yeah, I don't know. I also didn't get good performance out of this. I tried it in my tea light and my julienne. I didn't want to test it out in my Scentsy wax warmer just because it's a 25 watt and it doesn't get that hot, so it doesn't really throw scents that well. So this one, I wouldn't repurchase this scent, and I feel like I've been struggling a bit with my Swan Creek wax melts just because I heard that they're very long lasting. And while I feel like they might be long lasting, I feel like I want more intensity. Honestly, I've been struggling a little bit with my Swan Creek wax melts. I feel like they're not giving me the performance I would like, and I have like, I want to say 15 clamshells, so good luck to me, right? I haven't tried them in my candle crock, so maybe going forward, I'll see what happens then, because having to use tea light warmers are a little bit of a pain. So if I can put it in my candle crock, that'd be a lot better. So there's that one. Oh, and these are pretty big, so I used up one per wax melting session, but I think I could cut it in half. But then I feel like I don't really want to chop my wax all that much, or at least right now. All right, moving on to candles. We have one from Homeworks by Slacken & Co. I think some wax got on my hand. But this is Limoncello Cupcake. I got this during the $3 Ulta glitch. Let's see. Fragrance notes for limoncello cupcake: limoncello, Sicilian lemons, candied lemons, sparkling sugar, creamy vanilla, and French butter. So I did a review on this and I really enjoyed the scent of this, but it just did not give me the performance when I went to go burn it. I think I burned one and my sister burned one, and I think we'd both give it maybe about a 5 out of 10. And yeah, it just doesn't perform. However, when I put this under my candle lamp, 50 watt, it just comes to life. So I'm now going to exclusively use this underneath my candle lamp. The only problem is that I do need to pour off layer by layer. Ooh, I have some wax on my hand. So I need to pour off layer by layer. So that's a little bit of a hassle. There's still a little bit of wax left just because when I put this underneath my lamp, all of this liquefies. So I would say underneath my candle lamp, this lasted me well over a month. However, I don't have my candle lamp on all the time because I have other wax warmers or I burn candles. I would definitely recommend this if you want to chop up the wax or if you want to use this underneath a candle lamp. But if you're going to burn it, it's going to smell good, but you probably might not notice it because it's a little bit weak. All right, let's move on to a small business. I picked up 3 candles when these candles were on sale for, I believe, $15 on Etsy. I think it was like a 20 or 30% off. So let me bring them over. And if you can already see, it was a little bit rough. So the company is called Southern Roots 229, I believe based out of Georgia. And the type of wax that they use is a coconut apricot wax. I think this was the time when I was trying to discover alternatives to 100% soy. So if you can see, these are supposed to be frosted clear containers and there's a bunch of soot. Out of all the scents that I chose, Pink Lavender Clouds, Be Joyful, and Fresh Laundry, the one that performed the best was Fresh Laundry. And that's to say that the best one, Fresh Laundry, performed at about a 6.5 out of 10, and not all the time. So while I feel like the lids are really nice, the glass is really thick, I might have my sister see if she wants to reuse any of these. This candle just struggled overall. Besides being a little bit weak, I did get a bunch of sooting. Granted, it was only towards the final half, but I mean, check it out right there. And the wax did get a bit discolored. It was masked a little bit by the frosted glass, and the wicks did have a tendency to curl. So this is how one looks like. This one did a little bit better. It burned all the way down. I think this one I tried keeping the wicks a little bit longer, but then we had this situation happen. And then we had Be Joyful. This one I believe was supposed to be a Bath and Body Works dupe. And they all kind of smelled a little bit like soapy clean. So it might just be the coconut apricot wax blend that is used. So here's this one. Unfortunately, I wouldn't recommend or repurchase the candles from Southern Roots 229 just based off my burn experience. I do have some candles that I consider empties that are not currently here. The first one I gifted to my friend, and that was a Caramel Sundays lavender cupcake. It was a 2-wick, and honestly, I wasn't planning to gift it to her, but I know she likes lavender. And while this one smelled predominantly of the cake note, I needed something to go along with her card. And her gift was stuck in transit for the longest time. So there's that. Yeah, so I hope she likes it. I think even if she doesn't like it, I don't think she'll tell me that she doesn't like it. All right, next candle empty is quite sad because I had no intention to throw this candle away. It was practically full. Ugh, I'm still upset about it. Anyways, so it's a candle from a small business on Etsy called Mac Henry Candle Co. They specialize in 100% soy crackling candles. And the first one, I didn't like it because it smelled a bit artificial. And when I went to go burn it, it smelled even more artificial. So I knew that the second candle was going to be the same thing. So I was just going to like power through it and finish it. And I guess maybe it was my subconscious telling me to like toss the candle, but I think I accidentally put it in my empties when I was like putting everything back into my empties bin. So yeah, unfortunately, one casualty there. I'm still upset about it. Honorary empty from my sister. She finished up another one of her CBD single wick candles. This one is in the scent Cinnamon Clove. This one, she got it for $5. I believe that she would use my candle Hurricane a little bit just because it's a single wick and it's pretty big. It doesn't get hot enough at times unless she has this burning during her whole work day. So here's how it looks like from the sides. She tells me that this does work. I haven't looked into CBD candles all that much, but she will for sure continue to repurchase them because even $5 for this I was gonna say chunky candle. This hefty candle, I think that's a pretty good price. And if not, it provides a light source, an ambiance. And if she says that it works, I'll take her at her word. So there's that, how it looks like. I might clean out the jar so she can use this in her candle crock. But there is that. She would recommend it. I think the scent, she did like it. However, it was a bit light. I would say strength and throw was maybe like a 2. Yeah, like a 2 out of 10 in her small office. It smells a lot stronger on cold, but that didn't really translate. Oh, and also the projection is like if you were burning a Bath and Body Works single wick candle in Mary Cookie. Next, we have a Kringle candle empty. This is in the scent Melon Medley, watermelon, citrus, and melon sugar. This is how the jar looks like with the lid. I do have a dedicated review in case you're interested. This wick placement is kind of a lie because I did lose 2 wick towards the last, I would say, 4 burns of my candle. So I kept having to get my chopsticks and like move the wick from the edge closer to the center. I would say that this was a low to low medium strength. So I think it's better suited for small spaces. I mainly got a watermelon and melon taffy type of a scent. So while I think this was really nice on cold and while burning, I think it just isn't a scent that I need a backup of. I think that Bath and Body Works does watermelon scents pretty well, and I think those perform a bit better. So I wouldn't repurchase this one. I'd probably opt for one that I can find at Bath and Body Works. Another Kringle candle empty. We have a 3-wick in pistachio crema. This one is a drop pistachio, sweet pralines, and sugared vanilla cream. I mainly just got this perfumey pistachio type scent. Oh, I left myself a note again. I believe I lost some wicks in this one as well. Yeah, I lost 1 wick. I would say that this one was medium strong, no soot, no discoloration. The only thing is that, again, I think I was looking more for a 100% gourmand pistachio, but instead I got this like almost pistachio that leans a little bit cherry-like body care combo. So there's that. So while I think the scent is nice for what it is, I don't think it smells like this. And it's not a scent that I really need a backup of. Plus, if I shop at Kringle, I would have to buy 2 more just to make it worth the price. And maybe I'd want to try Grandma's Lemonade. But anyways, this is not a repurchase. That's all to say. Another home fragrance empty, we have a refill from Glade. I feel like Glade works even better than Bath & Body Works. I just wish they had more variety in the scents that they offered. This one I think was in that berry, like sparkling berry scent that I enjoyed. That was unfortunately limited edition. I thought I had finished it maybe like 2 months ago, but I found one in the back of my drawer. Really happy with that, would repurchase, but unfortunately I can't. Next, we have a scented sachet that I purchased at Ross. Unfortunately, it only lasted about 3 weeks, so I don't know if I would repurchase it, but I did enjoy it while it lasted. I finished up this rediffuser that I got at Ross. Unfortunately, this was very light. I'm going to see if my aunt wants to reuse the container as maybe like a bud vase or something. But yeah, this was very weak, and it just solidified my decision that I'm not going to purchase any more rediffusers from Ross because I haven't had great performance out of them. Going on to miscellaneous empties, we have some contact lens solution. This is Opti-Free Pure Moist. I get this at Costco in the 2-pack, and it works really well and it lasts me a very long time. So there's that one, would recommend. Then we have some toothpaste. This one is from Crest, Maximum Cavity Protection. I really enjoy this one, and I think my mom tried it and she really liked it, and she ended up buying some for herself. So I would repurchase this one if I see it again in store. We have some Sensodyne Rapid Relief. So this one I share it with my sister. This one I use it in the morning because it doesn't have that minty, refreshing scent that I like to have in my mouth before I go to sleep, which is a bit odd, but yeah, I really like this one as well. I don't have teeth sensitivity, and I hope, fingers crossed, it stays that way as I get older. Last 2 items are toothpaste tubes that I forgot about, so they're well past the expiration date. We have one that my doctor or my dentist gave me, the Parodontax. I believe that this one was a little bit frothy, so I wouldn't go out of my way to repurchase it. And then they also gave me a Crest 3D White. I think I did like this one, but I kept it in my travel bag and I haven't traveled in over a year. So you can see the problem. I think I would repurchase this one, but I think that if I see it in Walmart for a good deal, I would repurchase it. All right, so those were all my empties for May. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you have a great day. Okay, bye.